sounds, not like obnoxiously in your face. I'll try and make them obscure. Anyway, what we having today? So I've got a pack of Oreos. They are chocolate brownie flavoured. I've never actually seen these before. I believe they're an American flavour. We don't really have them in the UK like that, but I saw them in the shop and I was like, actually, let me try them. So we'll see how they are. We then have some popcorn. Now, I went for sweet popcorn this time, but I do like salted as well. I like both. I know a lot of people really like one and dislike the other. I don't mind either, but I was feeling a bit more on the sweet side today, so I went for sweet popcorn. Let me know, are you sweet or salted? And then we have some granola, crunchy nut granola as well. This is not a very healthy diet. Don't worry, this is not what I eat all the time, but basically I was thinking about like what foods would make decent sounds, and I was looking in the shops, and unfortunately it's a bit weird, a bit sad. All of the foods that make good sounds are quite unhealthy for you. So yeah, don't copy this diet, but oh well, I guess I'm due a treat once in a while. We also have a can of Coke. Yeah, a diet can of Coke. I'm saying a Scouse accent because I always see this guy on YouTube who's like, I don't know if you guys see him, but he walks around Liverpool and in a Scouse accent, and he's always just asking random people on the streets, where's the nearest place where I can find a chicken and can of Coke? It's so funny for some reason, I don't know why, but yeah, it's hilarious. My Scouse accent, as you can tell, is not very good, lad. Not very good. Anyway, before I embarrass myself, let's pour out my drink. I am a little bit thirsty. I'm really hoping this does not spill or burst open, because it has been in my bag for a little while now. But we'll open up the can. I'm going to do it quite far away from the camera. Sorry, the microphone, in case something goes wrong, but we'll see. I might have to edit this out. I have no clue if that was loud or anything, but all I can tell you is there was no spillages, so that's good. Alright, let me pour it out into the glass. Alright. Put that down there. We got a drink. Alright. So yeah, in this round I really want to talk about, I don't have a script or anything, I just want to talk about my Premier League predictions for the rest of the season, because I know a lot of people do sort of halfway predictions of the table. I'm not really a fan of those, because I feel like once you have your prediction, you gotta stick with it. It's not, the whole point in predictions is you stick with your prediction at the start of the season. But respect to people who do that. So I'm just gonna do this in a sort of informal way. When I react to my predictions at the end of the season, I'm not gonna use these, but I just put my thoughts out there. I'll go 1 to 20 in order of where I think teams will finish. Right, let me get a snack. Actually, you know what? Because you can't see it, let's play a little trigger game quickly. You gotta guess, is this granola, popcorn, or Oreo which I'm eating? You ready? Granola, popcorn, granola, popcorn, or Oreo. It was granola. It was granola. Alright, next one. Popcorn. That was popcorn. I think that one's a bit easier to distinguish. Alright, last one. I might throw you off maybe. Maybe I'm gonna do granola again. Let's see. That was, of course, Oreo. Wow, that's actually quite nice, that brownie flavour. Anyway, let's begin with the predictions. Okay. In 20th, it's gotta be Sheffield, right? It's gotta be Sheffield. I mean, they have just recently had a big win against Luton, but I really can't see them doing anything. They're definitely going down. Maybe they can sneak a 19th, but I honestly don't see a world where Sheffield stay up. Sorry to Sheffield fans watching, because I know I actually have quite a few Sheffield fans who watch this channel, but yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll be. They're surely 20th. They're surely down. Joining Sheffield 19th. Again, it's surely got to be Burnley for me. Surely. I mean, they're on the same points as Sheffield, which is pretty embarrassing. To be fair to Burnley, I think they have been a bit more resurgent recently. Their performances have been getting better, but like Sheffield, I don't see a world where they stay up. Maybe they sneak an 18th, they could even finish 20th, but for me, Burnley and Sheffield are nailed on to get relegated now. So that 18th spot, this is where it gets real interesting. I think there's 4, maybe 5 teams that are in contention here for this final spot, but who's gonna get it? I mean, currently Everton are in there. But of course, Everton have the 10-point deduction. This is where things get a bit weird, because Everton obviously have a points deduction. Forest might get one. Everton might get another one. I really haven't heard anything about those cases. I'm not too sure what's happening there. Just for the sake of simplicity in this video, I'm just going to assume that they both don't get any points deductions, i.e. Everton stay on 10 points deducted and don't get any further, and Forest don't get any points deducted. So for me, the teams who I think are going to be fighting out for that 18th spot are Everton and Forest, Luton, Palace, and then the outside shout for me is one of Brentford or Fulham. Then one of those could potentially get dragged into it, but I think both of them will probably be fine. Brentford more likely to get dragged into it, but I think Ivan Toney factor is going to help them, and they should be okay. Now, in terms of who is the worst team out of them, I mean, it's probably Luton, right? But they have been one of the best teams on form out of all of those sides recently. Really impressed by them. Can they maintain actually going to be fine in terms of their performances. Have been pretty good. They've been quite unlucky this season. I think they'll be fine. I think Crystal Palace might be fine because I believe they're going to sack Hodgson. It's quite toxic there if the fans want change. I think they'll probably end up sacking him, get someone like Steve Cooper in, little new manager bounce, and they'll be okay. Although I did back Palace to go down in my pre-season predictions, so low-key hope they do go down, just so I don't get proved wrong. As for Forest, again, I think they might be okay. As long as they don't get a points deduction. I think they'll be fine. I think there's enough quality in that squad for them to avoid the drop. And I think Nuno is a solid enough manager, again, to get them going and avoid the drop. He's got some pretty decent results so far. So, even though it would be a great story and I would like for them to stay up, I do think Luton are going down in 18th. I do think they will. I just think the other sides have enough quality, and I think Luton, I'm not sure they're going to be able to sustain the levels they're on right now. But I'll caveat with, if Forest get a points deduction, I believe they'll go down. I think they will. Or Everton if they get another, because that's just far too many points to deal with. So I think Luton 18th. I think it'll be Forest 17th. Palace maybe 16th. Everton 15th. I actually think Fulham might drop a little and go 14th, and Brentford will go 13th. 12th for me is probably Bournemouth. And then, this is where things get interesting. 11th, I actually think will be West Ham. So West Ham are actually 8th right now, but I mean, they just got absolutely battered by Arsenal. There's going to be big pressure on Moyes, and I think they might start getting a bit of a rut. I also think West Ham being in Europe is going to affect them, and they're just going to kind of sack off the league, really. So I think West Ham will finish 11th. I then think Brighton will finish 10th. Similar thing, I think Brighton are going to start focusing on the Europa League. We've seen how poor they've been at managing competitions, multiple competitions, and now's the stage where they've had a little decent run recently because they haven't had any Europa League to contend with, but now FA Cup Europa League is going to kick in. I think they're going to fall off a little bit and they'll finish 10th. Ninth, I think will be Wolves. I see Wolves having a strong end to this season. They're just a little bit inconsistent for me to go any higher, but I think they'll finish 9th. 8th. Oh God. It's between Newcastle and Chelsea for me. 8th. Both of them won't have Europe. I don't know. Newcastle, to be fair, I think I'm going to go Chelsea because I think Newcastle are going to have more players going to come back from injuries, right? Or Well, you would assume so. And if they can get those players back fit, then I think Newcastle will start getting a bit of form together with Chelsea, which is so up and down, so inconsistent. One week we are smacking up Villa, the next week we get smacked up by Wolves. I really don't know what to expect with us. I think we will. We're in 11th. I think we will start moving up that table a little bit, but I don't think we'll go very high. And I think we'll finish 8th and miss out on that Conference League spot. I think Newcastle will take it in 7th. Alright, top 6. Top 6. 6 spot. 6 spot for me is between either Villa or Man United. I don't think United are getting top 4. I don't think United are getting top 4. I just think, again, kind of like Joseph, they're far too inconsistent. One week they'll be losing to, who did they lose to recently? They lost to someone. I can't even remember, but they'll lose to Bournemouth, right? They'll lose like 3-0 at home to Bournemouth. Next week we'll go to Villa Park and beat them. Way too inconsistent for me. Villa, the thing is with them, they've been so good, but recently they've fallen off. They've had a couple injuries start to derail their season. The reason why I don't think they'll get top 4 is because I think, similar thing to Brighton, I think Conference League's going to start to kick in. They might get a bit more injuries due to that. They're going to start shifting focus towards that as well. I think it will just play its toll on them. So I think they'll miss out on top 4. And I think Villa might finish 6th, and I think United will finish 5th. Meaning, if 4th place for me, I think Spurs will get the top 4. I think Spurs will. I just think they don't have any competitions now. They're not in FA Cup, Carabao, or any European football, so they're just focused on the league. They've got players coming back now from injury, like Madison, Van de Ven, if they can stay fit. I think when Spurs are fully fit and at their best, they are the better off. They're better than United, and I don't know, on a par with Aston Villa, really. As I said, I think Villa will suffer with injuries potentially and European football. And then United, they don't have anything, but United are way less consistent than Spurs. So I think Spurs will get top 4 in 4th. And then the top 3, this is where things get interesting. So, the top 3 to the top 3. Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City. Now, I know my 1. I don't know my 2 or 3. I don't know my 2 and 3. Let me go through the pros and cons of every team quickly. is, as we've seen this season, a lot of the time they've not been on their day. Sometimes the attack is absolutely awful, sometimes the attack is scoring 6 versus West Ham. Just really inconsistent. But if they can find that consistency, as I said, I think they can beat every single team in this league. I mean, they've shown it. They've beaten Liverpool this season. They've beaten Man City this season. So, I mean, they're out of the domestic cups, aren't they? They've only got Champions League. We'll see how they do in that. They came close last year. So their players are, I guess, got a bit of experience now at challenging for the league. Can they go all the way? Man City, I said on their day Arsenal can beat every team in this league. On their day, Man City are can beat every single team in Europe, home and away. A fully functioning Man City side can be Real Madrid home and away. It can be Bayern Munich home and away. It can be PSG home and away. It can be Barcelona home and away. It can be Inter Milan home and away. It can be Liverpool home and away. The problem is, just like Arsenal, Man City have not been fully functioning yet this season. We've seen glimpses of it. We have seen glimpses of it, but we're yet to really see them fully click into gear. The question is, will we see them click into gear? This is usually the time they start getting into gear. They are starting to pick up some good form. They've won quite a few on the bounce now, but then again, they haven't looked so convincing. For example, against Everton, they were very lucky in that game. They weren't at their best. So, the question is, can Man City actually click into gear? If they can, they win this league. If they don't, Liverpool and Arsenal will win this league. And as for Liverpool, Liverpool is an interesting one because unlike Arsenal and Man City, I'm not so, I guess, keen on them in terms of, I think they beat everyone in this league home and away. I think they do have flaws, but City, they might want it more. I think they do want it more because of that clock factor. They're also not in the Champions League, they're in the Europa League. So if they wanted to, I know they're not going to, but if they wanted to, they could kind of just sack that off and just go, right, we're just going to play one game a week now. And proper intensity and try and win every single game. Whereas Man City and Arsenal can't do that because it's the Champions League. You can't just pin off the Champions League. So that's another interesting factor there. So saying all of that, in third place, man, this is so tough. This is so tough. But in third place, I think I'm gonna go. Oh god. I'm gonna go Liverpool. I think. As I said, I just think maybe they're not the complete finished article right now. I'm never gonna completely offer it, but I see a little bit more flaws in them than I see in Arsenal and Man City personally. Yeah, it's really tight though. But I just think Liverpool will finish third. I think it'll be close. So then, for me, winning the league first and second, I'm saying second place, Arsenal. So I have Man City winning the league for the 4th year in a row. For me, I said, can Man City click into gear? I think they will. I think they will click into gear. And they'll just get that run of games together and get that trophy. I don't think it will be as much of a run as it was last year where they just steamroll everyone. I still see chinks in their armour, and I'm not entirely sure if that form will translate to the Champions League as well. I mean, we'll get on to that in another video maybe, but I do think Man City will put together a decent run. They'll start clicking into gear a little bit more, maybe drop some points here and there still, but I do think overall they just have enough quality. Kevin De Bruyne, if he stays fit, if Haaland stays fit, I think it's serious trouble for Arsenal, who I think will run them close, but I think Arsenal are going to be a little bit more inconsistent compared to Man City in the final stretch of the season. So there we go. That is my predictions for the rest of the season, and let me know yours. Hope you guys have enjoyed this mukbang. And if you want to see me do this again, let me know. I definitely can. If you never want to see me do this again, let me know. But anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed. And if you have enjoyed, please leave a like. Go and subscribe.